Hi everybody, I hope you have really enjoyed our Sailors Wow Week. I know that myself and Mrs Brown have absolutely loved seeing all the videos and photos that you have been sending us, and it looks like you have all had a fantastic week, and we just wish that we could have been in school to do all of these exciting things, but I'm glad that you've got to do them at home and share some of these fun and exciting things with your families or your brothers and sisters as well. It's been lovely to see that you've been involving everybody in the activities that you've been doing. So to end the week today, we're going to write a recount of our Sailor Wow Week, which is what I'm going to go through with you today. So we're going to be writing about our Sailors Week, and we're going to write a recount. Can you remember what a recount is? We've written several examples of these, perhaps as some of the characters from the stories we've been looking at. What is a recount? Hopefully you have remembered that a recount is when we retell an event or a day or a story that has already happened. So for example, thinking about our Learning Link to Journey, we wrote a recount as Rebecca to say where she had been in the story with her magical red crayon. We wrote recounts as Little Red Riding Hood to retell the story when she went through the woods. And they are all written in the past tense because we're writing about something that has already happened. So we're going to be writing a recount about everything and all of the exciting things that we have done this week. So hopefully it should be a nice piece of writing because it's things that you have done and things that you will be able to talk about. So let's recap the different features that our recount should include. So number one, it should be written in the past tense. And we know that the past tense is because it's already happened. We're writing about things that have already happened. So we're going to be using our past tense verbs, which we've done a lot of work on recently. See if you can get some different past tense verbs in your writing. Number two, we should always start our recap with an introductory sentence. This means it tells us who, so who took part in our Sailor Wow Week, so we know that everybody in year 2 took part. Where did this happen? So those of you in school would talk about the things you did in school, but the rest of you might want to talk about where you did all of these activities in your house. Where did we board? What was the name of the ship? Can you remember? When did it happen? So we can write the dates of our Wow Week. Why? Why did we do this? So we're learning all about what life was like for sailors 500 years ago, and then we would write about what happened, what fun and exciting things have we done this week. So that will introduce our recount. Number three, it means it's written in the sequence of how things happened. And we've talked about this before. There was a special word that we used, and in history, to talk about the order. I wonder if you can remember. It begins with hopefully you've said chronological order. So if chronological order is the order of how things happen. So we would start with what we did on Monday and then up until our last thing that we did throughout the week. And then the last feature we need to remember to include is opinions to make it more interesting. So what was your favourite thing to do throughout the week? What didn't you like so much of and why? So making it more interesting and adding more detail to your recount. So let's start by thinking about all of the exciting activities that we've done this week. So I'm going to give you some time to pause the video. Can you list the different activities that we have done this week? Okay, hopefully you've had a little think. Let's reveal what we've done. So, we started the week off, didn't we? We made some hard tack biscuits. I wonder if you liked them. You could talk about your opinion, what you enjoyed doing. Did you like making them? Did you like the taste? We learnt the dance here. Can you remember the name? The hornpipe dance, and we had a special guest, didn't we? Mrs. Marsden came to show you how to do the hornpipe dance. We designed our own monster maps, which is fun. We got to make up our own mythical creatures and tell some stories. We did some sailor fitness to make sure we could keep fit and healthy. You had to ration some rats and find them. You might have shared your grog between your family for finding them. And we also learnt about the different parts of a ship. And that is what we're going to be writing about today. So I have had a little go at writing a recount for the week. I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to see if we can spot the different features that we talked about. Our Sailor Wow Week, February the 8th until the 11th. This week we went on board a ship called the Adventurer. Remember my capital letters, it's the name of the ship. We have found out a lot about what life was like for sailors 500 years ago. We started the week by thinking about what items sailors might have taken on board. We then chose 5 items to take with us. I chose to take a compass, a map, some hardtack, a telescope and some warm gloves. Then we learnt how to make some hardtack. We only needed 3 simple ingredients. I did not like the hardtack because it was too salty. On Tuesday, we learnt the hornpipe dance. It was lots of fun. We also became cartographers and drew our own monster maps. I really enjoyed making up a story about my map. On Wednesday, we entertained ourselves on board ship by keeping fit and playing games. We learnt how sailors kept fit. My favourite activity was scrubbing the deck. After that, we designed our own sailor games. My game was called Shells and Crabs. I hope we can return on the Adventurer soon. Let's see if we can spot those features. So I've got a title to tell the reader what I'm writing about. So Our Sailor Wow Week. And I can see that I've put the dates for when it took place. So when. I've also given a brief introduction in my introductory sentence about what my recount is about. So I've told the reader we went on board a ship called the Adventurer and a little bit about what we've done. We've learnt about what life was like for sailors 500 years ago. Let's see now if we can spot any of those past tense verbs. So this week we went on board a ship called the Adventurer. We have found out about what life was like for sailors 500 years ago. We started the week by thinking about what items we might have taken on board. We then chose 5 items to take with us. I chose to take a compass, a map, some hardtack, a telescope and some warm gloves. Then we learnt about how to make hardtack and we only needed 3 simple ingredients. I did not like the hardtack because it was too salty. On Tuesday, so I'm using different ways to start my sentence as well. So we started the week, then I said on Tuesday, on Wednesday. We learnt the hornpipe dance. It was lots of fun. We also became cartographers and drew our own monster maps. I really enjoyed making up a story about my map. On Wednesday, we entertained ourselves on board ship by keeping fit and playing games. We learnt how sailors kept fit and my favourite activity was scrubbing the deck. After that, we designed our own sailor games. My game was called Shells and Crabs. So we can see I've used lots of past tense verbs in there as well. It's also written in chronological order because I've said how we started the week, so what we did on Monday. I've then gone into Tuesday and then on to Wednesday. So I've written it in order of what's happened throughout the week. And I've also in some places put my opinion about things. So I said I did not like the hardtack because it was too salty. So remember, you can add your opinion to give it more detail. Then I said I really enjoyed making up my story. And then I gave a little bit of information about the name of the game that I made up. So we can see all of the different features in this text. So today you're going to have this sheet as a scaffold. It's really important to remember that this is the scaffold to help you, not to do your writing on. So we would like you to write this on some lined paper in paragraphs, and the lines that you can see here are to show you each paragraph. So you can start your recount with the dates at the top underlined like I've done, so February the 8th until the 11th, and then underneath is where you will start paragraph 1. So you can use the sentence starters to help you. I've put some picture cues and some words that might be a little bit tricky to spell at the bottom. So this week we have been on board. Can you remember the name of the ship? And then your second sentence, we have found out about what life was like for a sailor 500 years ago, for example. Then you would leave a line, as this is showing us it's a new paragraph, and then you will use these sentence starters to help you write paragraph number 2. So I'll read the sentence starters to you. We started the week by thinking about, I chose to take. What did you choose to take on board? Then we learnt how to make, I did not like it, or I did like it because. Paragraph number 3. On Tuesday we learnt we also became, I really enjoyed. Paragraph number 4. On Wednesday we entertained ourselves by, my favourite activity was. After that, we designed our own games. My game was called. I hope we can return on the Adventurer soon. So there are lots of sentence starters to help you. You don't have to use them all if you don't want to. You might want to think of your own. But they are all there to help you, to show you how you can start each sentence. And then, like I said, we've got the picture cues as well, and then some of the trickier spellings at the bottom. So I look forward to reading through your recounts to find out what you enjoyed during the week. Bye everyone.